The eNASCAR Pro League is headed out to draft in the desert at ISM Raceway. We started with thousands of drivers. We are trying to get down to just 28. 14 teams, 28 dreams. Let's put myself on the clock right now. Remember, these are my picks, and at number 1, Wood Brothers is on the clock here, and I think they're going to go for someone that can be very marketable, the best driver, and someone that just fits their overall style. They're at Wood Brothers, and I think it's going to be Slade, the youngster, 16 years old out of Georgia. He goes number 1. All right, at number 2, he's got to be FedEx, right? I mean, come on. The guy won at Miami. He's got all these accolades. You know he's a winner. So it's an easy pick at number 2, right? Wrong. Joe Meister. I want the social media. I want the marketability guy. He's improving and driving. Easily could be the number 1 pick. All right, number 3, I got a perfect pick for Richard Childress here at number 3. I know they could go with a lot of guys here. Bear would be a good pick, but I think you go with a guy from Georgia. He's a dad. He's a police officer. Red 4424. He is an excellent driver, very marketable, very helpful. All right, at number 4 here. Okay, let's stop the silliness. We got to get FedEx off the board here. I mean, he won down at the road to Miami. Not so fast. For go fast, you need to go with Dagger, the nicest guy and maybe the best driver in all of PlayStation, a steal at number 4. All right, at number 5, JTG picking right before Joe Gibbs Racing. So that means that FedEx could possibly go where he wants to go all alone, and that's to Joe Gibbs Racing because he's a huge number 11 fan. Not so fast. JTG is not going to let FedEx slip out of their grasp. He'll go at number 5. As I mentioned, any of my top 7 could go number 1, including this guy at number 6 for Joe Gibbs Racing. I think he would be a nice fit. I think he could do a lot for Joe Gibbs Racing from an esports perspective. Also think just the personality and the way that Joe Gibbs is set up would do great for Smoke Fan. That's right, 21 years old, out of Michigan, an incredible driver, just needs a little bit of a boost. Well, if I was drafting, this guy would be my number 2 pick. Just because I take all the things of the state of Alabama and him rooting for the Crimson Tide. I put all that aside to say that at number 7, Hendrick's going to get a heck of a driver in the Bear, maybe one of the best. All right, let's go ahead and shift gears here to number 8. Stewart Haas is on the clock. They got a lot of guys they can think about here. But for me, you're looking for a great driver. And the best driver that is available right now, I don't care what you're driving. Trucks, Xfinity, you're in the Cup Series. For me, it has to be Bags here at number 8. Wouldn't be surprised to see him go higher. Definitely the best driver available. Well, speaking of amazing drivers, the King is back on the clock and at number 43. And I think the trend continues of taking the best drivers because these guys are so close. They didn't do a great job on social media. So Rowdy comes off the board here in number 9 from Wisconsin. This is a guy that can really get in there and rock and roll. Now at number 10 through 14, you guys start thinking about guys that are going to make great teammates because you had top picks over on Xbox, and now you got to try to put things together. At number 10, I take a veteran, a guy that really had some great organization, promotional skills, Morris Jr., 24. He can race absolutely anything. At number 11, Team Penske now on the clock. Remember, they told you they were taking Valley Racing on Xbox. If they could somehow get the best driver on all of Xbox, maybe they just match it up with someone who I believe is just as strong. A sleeper here at number 11, Slider. Remember, performed very well in Miami. At number 12, the Earnhardt's on the clock. And remember, in some of our early videos and talking with them, they said social media presence and creating content was a huge factor for them. At number 12, they could go with a sleeper here, but I think they're actually going to go with Mega Driver 24, who has the biggest social media following on PlayStation. These last 2 picks, I believe both of these teams are going to need some veterans. And boy, there's so many you can pick from this list on PlayStation. Boy, this is tough. I'm going to go with DK Brown right here. The guy from Alabama, incredible driver. I think he can be marketable, and I think you can push him in content. At number 14, could be a guy that could go much higher, and that's based on his location. Don't go by his username because that's not where his home base is. At number 14 and possibly higher, I think you'll see West Virginia fan who actually makes his home in Charlotte, North Carolina. That could be enough to give him an advantage. Let's look at the sleepers. Fluffy can drive on rails. Parker and Beast of Asgard are really like pros. They didn't race a lot in the showcases, but I think you'll see them in the top 14 for sure. I just got no idea where. C. Workman is a great pick. Really, all these guys on PlayStation, so very deep. Watch the draft live on March 10th at 11:45 Eastern Time at eNASCAR.com. Also on twitch.tv /eNASCAR Heat and on the Motorsport Network.